Have you started recording?
Hello, viewers and subscribers all over the world. This is BVI Channel 1. You're welcome back on this program, People's Parliament, on your choice platform, BVI Channel 1. And I'm your host, Asusun Peters. Like yesterday, we had Barrister Emeka Emekeshi, the chairman of MOBIL. So today, we already have one of the gentlemen seated, and we wait. Hopefully, Abdul Aziz will join us as we continue in this program. Emeka is already seated. Barrister Emeka is here with us, and we just have to kickstart in earnest. And don't forget that on this program, People's Parliament, this is where you ask valid questions with respect to the issue under discussion, and also air your opinion without any form of intimidation and fear with respect to issues being discussed. So as a result of that, I implore you, when we open up the lines, to make use of these numbers right here, +23481045553 to come and join us and air your opinion. Don't forget, this is our live interactive section, and we already have Barrister Emeka Emekeshi seated. Hello, Barrister. You're welcome back on this program.
Thank you very much, moderator.
Sorry about yesterday. We got cut off before the just beginning of the program yesterday, but we agreed to reconvene back. We hopefully Abdul Aziz will be joining us later. We've already sent him a message, and we're hoping that he's going to join us on the course of this program. Now you are here. Talking about Nigerian situation, you have been at it. Abdul Aziz have come up to say they are putting up a case against Nigeria. They've already filed a case against Nigeria, and we had that you are already, not that we have, we know you are already on that same path. Is there any hope of joining in that case in Abuja with respect to self-determination of the Biafran people?
Yeah, thank you very much, moderator. Yeah, that yesterday, let me introduce myself again. Because yesterday when we started, halfway we stopped and said today we are going to come again. And I know that many people who are listening to us now were not there yesterday. I am Emeka Emekeshi, as introduced by the moderator. I am the chairman of the, I'm the chairman of the Governing Council, Customary Government of Indigenous People of Biafra, of which our political wing is called MOBIL, Movement of Biafrans in Nigeria. So the discussion is on North-South joining forces for freedom through referendum. Now the moderator is asking me about the case the Northern Coalition has filed at Abuja, whether we're going to join that case. I remember that yesterday when this issue came up, I told the CNG spokesman, that is Dr. Abdulaziz, that we would like to join as party to that case, even though we have a similar case going on, which is now at the Court of Appeal, Enugu, to try to find a way to work together, since it is the same thing. But there is a suggestion he brought up, which I agree that was good. He said it will be better for different groups to file action on the same matter in different places. For instance, now that we in the East have filed that action, and those in the North file the same action, if those in the West can file the same action, the Middle Belt filing the same action, people in different places filing the same action, that will be better and it will have more impact. And that if all of us come together as one case, one suit, that one judge can just strike out that case and it's over. But if we have different suits at different places in different parts of the country, different courts over the same issue, that it may have more weight and create more awareness. That was the suggestion. I said, okay, that may be better. So our case is now up to the Court of Appeal. It is simple. We have given Nigeria two options. It's either Nigeria is restructured, that is by devolution of power to regional autonomy so that every region will govern itself and develop at its own pace, or Nigeria will be dissolved. But each of these will have the referendum. You have to go through the legal methodology. Whether we are dissolving Nigeria or whether we are agreeing to devolve power to the regions, it still has to be by referendum. So it is a good thing that the North and South are talking about this same thing. So on your question, whether we are joining that case, the decision is that our case, which is on this same issue, that is in the Court of Appeal, will continue, while their own case, which they have just commenced, and the Federal High Court, Abuja, will also continue. That is my answer to that your question.
Okay, Barrister. Now, the question now arises, when these cases come up from different angles, and you pointed out that one can easily be strike out and the rest of them, don't you think that the same will happen to all the different cases coming from different areas? Or is there a way or a pathway or an opportunity or possibility where all these agitating groups, all these indigenous nationalities in Nigeria filing these cases to find a common ground, to come together and present a common case and a common front to address this issue with respect to self-determination for the Nigerian indigenous people?
First of all, what you should understand is that our filing case
Hello,
in the Nigerian... Can you hear me, please? I say...
I can't hear you.
Why can't you hear me? But I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
No, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, I can hear you.
Go ahead.
Now, you are talking about filing cases. What will be the outcome of it? I want you to understand. I want you to understand that our motive for filing case in the Nigerian High Court, it is actually a double barrel kind of thing. We may not get justice in Nigeria, we know that, but eventually that is a stepping stone for us to go to international court, because under the law, if you are seeking for self-determination by the rule of law, by legal methodology, you must go through the jurisdiction, that is the domestic jurisdiction. In other words, you have to commence your case in the jurisdiction where you are being persecuted, that is in Nigerian jurisdiction, and if you are denied justice, then you move out to the international court. So we have to start from Nigeria. Eventually the case will end at the international court, but before it gets to that stage, something may have happened. You know, when we're talking about this legal methodology, it doesn't mean judicial process only. It also includes political process. I know when we talk about legal methodology, people's mind go to court. That's not the issue. Legal methodology means methodology that is legal, that is lawful. That's what legal methodology means. So as we are pushing in the court for an order of the court compelling the defendants to bring a assembly, so also we are putting passed into law by the National Assembly, which is political. So you can see how legal and political work together. So as we are pushing in court, the same way we are also putting pressure on the National Assembly to pass the bill of referendum. The topic for discussion today says the North and South joining forces for freedom through referendum. Where would the referendum be done? Is it the High Court? No, referendum is not done in the High Court. Who passes the bill of referendum? It is the National Assembly. That is political. So we are using both. We are using the legal methodology, which includes the judicial process, political process, and diplomatic process. So your question is whether this filing of cases by different groups and so on, what will come out of it? Suppose the Nigerian government or the different courts, different judges will strike out all those cases. No, that is not the issue. Eventually, if they strike out the case, we go to international court. And I tell you that if the Nigerian judiciary does not give us justice, eventually we shall get justice at the international court. But we have to play our politics very well, both national politics and international politics.
All right, now, Barrister, now that you've addressed this question, because I was about asking you about the confidence you have over the Nigerian judicial system and whether or not you're going to expect justice from there, because people already were asking that question and you've already addressed it, that you are not possibly expecting justice, but it is a stepping stone to get to international court where this issue will be properly addressed. Now, you've talked about different approaches which you have employed. You've talked about political process. You talked about judicial process, all, part of legal process. Now, there are other legal process, other agitating groups in Biafra have been adopting, which from some of your publications and utterances, it seems you don't agree with that other part of legal process. Or does it mean approach or tactics to achieve a legal process? What am I talking about? I'm talking about the approach of civil disobedience, protest. How do you look at it? Do you think it is an approach or part of legal process or a way to achieve or push or mount pressure for you to achieve your legal process?
That's all right. Civil disobedience is okay. Now, what type of civil disobedience? That is it. Civil disobedience, what form of civil disobedience? I have had people talking about civil disobedience using sit at home as civil disobedience. Fine. If you decide to sit at home, sit in your house, you have the right. You have the right not to move out of your house. But you do not have the right to stop another person who is moving. Can you see the thing? Your freedom stops where the freedom of others emanates. So if you are sitting, you and your members are sitting at home, good, that is very good. But it is unlawful for you and your members to come out and stop other people who are moving out, or kill them, or destroy their goods, burn their cars, pour away their goods, pour away their rice from their cooking, pour it into the gutter. All those things, if you are sitting at home, go ahead and sit at home. That is your right. In fact, if you want to do what they call hunger strike, go ahead. It is your right. So sit at home. It's your right to sit at home. But you have no right to interfere with the freedom of others.
Okay. I think you have done justice. I think you have done justice to that question. Now, where are you at with respect to that case you initiated in court, which you said is in Enugu High Court? What is the composition of the case, and what are you looking for? Tell us a bit.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That case moved. And right now we have made our arguments. We have made some Supreme Court from international court. Many people are what is happening, but they don't want to take part in what is happening. That is the problem. So they're on the side watching, like you're asking me now, what is happening? What is happening? Let some people also ask, how are you people doing this? Can we be part of it? Can we join? Can we build together? Can we bear the burden together? But they're all on the fence, just waiting and watching what is happening. What is happening? So if right now, if I make application now for the hearing of that case, definitely they'll fix a date for hearing. But who will foot the bill? The same thing I have been doing since 2012. I filed this case, flying from London, from London to Nigeria, flying from London to Nigeria, doing that case until now. It's not fair while people just sit by and watch what is happening. So good, we are in Court of Appeal. The thing is now in our hand to activate the hearing date. Once I apply now for hearing date will be set. But going forward, who will now bear the burden? There is a lot of financial burden attached to it. From there to Supreme Court, maybe from Supreme Court to International Court. Once we activate the hearing date right now, there's no stopping until International Court.
All right, now it seems that we've gotten where the case is pending when you will activate it, and you've just highlighted your limitations or your setback with respect to funding and the rest of them, the logistics and all of that. Now that boils down on the question, what is the people's acceptability to this procedure? Are they lagging behind because of limited information passed across to them? Is it that they don't understand the strength of the case and the process is not clear to them? Or is it that they don't really want to be part of it? For what you say, it needs public support, financial support, and the rest of it for it to succeed. What do you think?
You have made a good point, and your questions are very, very germane. Now we have challenges. One is that there is a public or a kind of propaganda that has been made against legal methodology. People say, forget that legal method, forget that legal method. So there's propaganda. The brain of the people, the mindset of the people are already biased against the use of legal methodology. That is what you should understand. The mindset of the majority of the people are already biased against the use of legal methodology. Now, because of that question, people usually ask, how long will it take you if you are using legal method? You can't even get justice in Nigeria. Is it not the same Nigerian court? Without understanding why we put that case in court, we made it clear that we put that case in court for 2 or 3 reasons. Well, first of all, is to get what we call judicial immunity. Now, when you file a case in court, the law says both the defendants and the claimant, the plaintiffs, are protected, that nobody should touch each other, nobody should arrest, molest, detain, harass the other until that case is over. So immediately we filed that case between Biafra and Nigeria, the judicial immunity was activated, and from that day till now, no Nigerian officer, whether police or army, has arrested us. But they know us, we go on the street, they know us, we go to court, we go to National Assembly, we go to government offices arguing our case for Biafra. But nobody can arrest us because we are in court with them. The defendant cannot arrest plaintiff. No party can disturb the other, harass the other, arrest the other, molest the other person until that case is over. That is judicial immunity. So many people, when they see me free, they see me and our members, our followers free. We hold our meetings free. Our town hall meeting of the IPOB customary government of indigenous people of Biafra. We hold our town hall meetings in the open, and nobody arrests us. Police officers, they see us, the army, they see us. Nobody arrests us. Why? Because we are the plaintiffs in court against the defendants. They cannot arrest us. So it is called judicial immunity. So many people, when they say, oh no, that I am working for Nigeria, I am a saboteur, that is why they're not arresting me. That is ignorance of the law. So that is the first answer. There is bias against us without understanding why we put that in. Secondly, we put that thing in court in order to satisfy the requirements of international law, that whoever wants to seek for self-determination using the legal methodology must start from the local jurisdiction, that is the domestic jurisdiction where you are being persecuted. In this case, we have to start from Nigerian court, and if we are denied justice from Nigerian court, then we go to international court. Because if you file it straight at international court, they will dismiss and tell you to go back and start from Nigeria. But people don't understand. We keep explaining this thing, but because of the propaganda bias in their mind again. The second challenge we have. Then the third challenge is from the media. You are members of the media, all of you are in the media. You don't promote us, you don't advertise us. you advertise. In fact, I met with one media practitioner at Enugu. I asked him that question, why don't you advertise us? Why don't you promote us? He said, because your own method is the legal method. The people want legal action. We have the Biafran case. We are the first Biafran group that was bold enough to present our case in the National Assembly, the Senate Committee, and nobody arrested us. No other Biafran group has presented any document. In fact, listen, before independence will be granted, there must be a document to look into. No Biafran group has presented any document to any authority except us. We presented in the Nigerian government. We also presented. First, some people don't understand. Even though we got United Nations ECOSOC status with 3 seats in 2000, we did not present Biafran case there. Why? Because we know the rule. You have to start from the foundation, from the jurisdiction. That's from Nigeria. I know some people get deceived. They say they have gone to United Nations. We are members of the United Nations Council in 2015 with 3 seats in the UN, in New York, in Geneva, and Vienna. 3 seats granted to us. We have not filed the Biafran case yet because there are rules.
You mean your group? What group particularly is that got that recognition or status at ECOSOC? Is it your group?
No, we use our human rights group called BVI Human Rights Initiative. We have a human rights group which we use to obtain that seat. Then in 2019, then we now transferred by a deed of what is called choices of action, choices in action, a deed of choices in action, transferred the rights to the customary government. So right now, it is the customary government that United Nations writes to, inviting us to the meetings.
All right, Barrister. Honestly, when you were talking about people calling you saboteur, this, that, and because you have not been arrested or intimidated by the Nigerian government, that means you are a sellout. We are not the only one that have had that experience. Personally, during one of my radio broadcasts, somebody actually called on the radio and was saying that you come to this radio, you speak boldly, what you said are the truth, and every time I come up, they fear for me, they expect me to be arrested, killed by the Nigerian government, but they are not doing that. Why are they not killing me? And why are they not harassing me? Why are they not arresting me? And that is the reason why they are suspecting me of being part of or working for the Nigerian government to stop their freedom. You see, you are not the only one that has that kind of misconstrued concept. All right, when you talk about people following the due process. All right, now with respect to the Biafran agitation generally, we are going to come back to you on that. But before we proceed, let us tell our viewers who have been watching so far, this is BVI Channel 1, and we are on People's Parliament, where we bring up people, discuss issues that affect our people generally, where you can ask questions, where you can air your opinions with respect to the issue on ground. And today we have Barrister Emeka Emekesri, the chairman of Movement of Biafrans in Nigeria. We were supposed to have alongside with him Dr. the spokesman for the coalition of northern groups or something like that. So we still have hope that he may join us at the course of this program. But while we continue, we implore you to call in if you want to be part of this program, to air your opinion or ask Barrister question. You can call the number you're seeing right there on the screen, +234-810-4545-533, to join the side of the screen, just right here. All right. Then for those of you who are dropping your comments through our live chat, thank you very much. We recognize your being here. Harrison Chinwe, Chiduzie Augustine, Ndubisi Vincent, Charles Anikbe, Shaidon James, Praise J, Obaseki, Jidofo Okoye, Goodness of Joy. We all recognize all of you who are watching and dropping your comments. We appreciate you. You can ask your question. The first one, the first request somebody made there is referendum now. Now let's also talk about referendum. Referendum, Barrister, you can put me right if I'm wrong. Referendum, I believe, is a political process. And you can only achieve referendum through political process. But the Biafran people seems to be taken aback by that process. They say they are not interested in politics of Biafra, but they want referendum. How is that going to be achieved without political process?
Yeah, that is also part of the challenges we are having. There is wrong education. There is a kind of brainwashing, a kind of twisting of the mindset of the people. They no longer understand. They don't even reason. They don't think again because of too much false propaganda that has been fed into their mind. Now, referendum is like voting, is voting. And you vote like in an election, like political, it's a political process. And it's not something you do at your backyard. There must be a law, a bill of referendum passed into law by the National Assembly where law is made. And it is a political process. So it is the politicians, those people you call bad people, you call them bad names, those in the National Assembly, the senators, and the House of Rep members, those are our representatives in the parliament. These are the people that will pass the bill of referendum into law for you to vote in the referendum. You know, in 2016 or 2017, one of the Biafran agitators, leader of one of the groups, said that they were printing 40 million ballot papers for referendum. I asked them, referendum where? Who made the law for you to make referendum? Where is the bill of referendum passed into law? So they were accused. They were accusing me and abusing me and saying all kinds of things. I said, you don't make referendum at your backyard. It's not a private thing. Later, I saw some of them in their villages or so with two boxes. One box, they painted it, they after it Nigerian color, and they stood in a queue and they were voting in a referendum. They said that their leader so told them to do referendum for Biafra and Nigeria. Then what kind of childishness is this? This is not a childish matter. A referendum or plebiscite, if you like to use that term, it is a vote, that it is the right to cast your vote and decide your political future, what you want. If you go to, fortunately for us, Nigerian law recognizes that. You know, some people, there is so much ignorance. There's so much ignorance in Nigeria. Some people say Nigerian law doesn't recognize referendum. Some people say Nigerian law does not recognize secession or free or self-determination. Who told you that? There is so much foolishness, so much ignorance, so much blindness among both the leaders and the led. It's like foolish people or blind leaders leading the blind. Who told you? The Nigerian law, Article 20, Cap 10 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 1990, which is also Cap A9, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, says that you have the right of self-determination, but you have to use the means recognized by the international community. And the Nigerian constitution says you cannot govern any part of Nigeria without law.
Please.
Now can the bill of if our members in the National Assembly now, the senators and House of Rep members, if any one of them now can bring the bill of referendum now in the night and move the motion. Listen, referendum can be referendum to dissolve Nigeria. It can also be referendum to create autonomous regions, the 6 regions to become autonomous. It It can also be referendum for anything. Okay, it can be referendum to decide 3 questions. 1, referendum for the people to decide whether they want to be Nigerian or not. Referendum to decide, okay, if they want to be Nigerians, under what terms and conditions. Referendum to dissolve Nigeria if the Nigerian wants that way. So
Barrister, sorry, we are losing you. Barrister, we are losing you.
And
hang
if
on,
any
hang on.
member
Hello?
Southwest,
All right.
if the people of the South, Southwest, Southeast, North Central, that's Middle Belt, and the Northwest, Southern Kaduna, if the people, the senators and House of Rep members from these 4 or more than 4 in the referendum be passed. So who is holding us now?
Okay, all right, Barrister.
Who is?
All right, Barrister. I think we should hold it there. Let's just take the first caller who is already on the line. Are you listening? Barrister, are you with me?
Yes. Yes, please.
Hang on. Let's talk the caller on the WhatsApp, your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, Mr. Chinedu, it's me. I'm Ojoto. I'm calling from Switzerland.
You're calling from Switzerland?
Yes, I'm calling from Switzerland, known by Ojoto.
All right.
Ojoto.
All right,
Ojoto.
go ahead. Go ahead with the submission.
Okay, please. I want to ask Barrister Emeka. Barrister Emeka, good evening, sir.
Hello, Barrister. Can you hear us? Can you hear him? Hang on. I think the network is holding him back. Hang on.
Yeah, I can see it's frustrating.
All right, hang on. I think Barrister Emeka is back here with us. Hello, Barrister. I think the network is pulling him out. Hello, Barrister.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yes, I can hear you very well. I can hear you.
Okay, can you hear the caller? Can you hear the caller as well?
Yes, I heard the caller. I heard the caller.
All right, go
Sorry?
ahead, my brother. Go ahead. He can hear you.
Okay. I want to ask Barrister Emeka, if finally at the end of the day, which we know they are not going to get those things that zoo court, and nothing is going to come out from them. And normally they have to go through normal procedure after going to that zoo, international court. So now my question now is, if the case finally go to ICC, to international court, at the end of the case, what is there going to be any punishment to the country that handed a British citizen over to the country where he did not belong to?
Okay, my brother.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
All right, go on, Barrister. Answer his question.
That's it. Yes. I can actually feel become Nigerians when we didn't want to be Nigerians. Therefore,
Hello.
Hang on. The barrister is answering you. You can now cut and listen to his response.
your question is whether there will be a punishment against. Your question is whether there will be punishment against the country that forced us to become citizens of a country that we didn't want. Yeah, I can understand your feelings. What we want now is freedom first. We want freedom. Let us get our freedom. And then we now decide about punishment.
Okay.
So that freedom is important. You have not yet got your freedom, and you are not thinking about punishment you will give to that person, let us first get our freedom before we think of the punishment that will be meted against them.
All right, Barrister. Now back to the question you are answering, the referendum process, which is the political process. And you made mention of, you've always, I've heard you say our politicians representing us at the National Assembly. By the law, in the face of the law, they are actually representing us. But in reality, they are representing themselves, because their actions have spoken louder than any other thing you can think of, that they are just there for their personal interest. They are not in line with the people's aspiration. How are we going to get around it? Because I've had you get involved with political process that will get Biafrans into government houses and all that. Is that a way of pushing that political process to achieve referendum?
Thank you, moderator. Now, you have observed correctly that those we rely upon, the National Assembly, they are not representing us well. I asked that question. We have the South people are complaining, Southwest people are complaining, Southeast complaining, which is part of Northwest complaining, and yet we have some House of Rep members in the National Assembly. Whenever we talk about it, they said that the Northerners have more votes than us in the National Assembly. It's a lie. Because by the time you count those Southeast, Southwest, South, South, North Central, and the Southern Kaduna, our members in the Assembly are more in number than the Northerners. Then the question, why can't they help us? That comes to your conclusion that they are not representing us. They are representing their stomach, their family. Present the bill of referendum and let it be debated. They are not represented. Our political arm, which is called mobbing, decided to go into politics and play the politics to put Biafrans in power. Local government to state level to national level want to put Biafrans in power, who will enter there and move the motion and pass the bill, starting even from the state House of Assembly, even the House of Assembly in the state now. We have our customary government bill, that did poll of customary governance. We have we'll move that motion now in the state House of Assembly. We want custom bill law in all the houses of assembly in the south, starting from the east, so that we will now have customary government bill passing to law and have customary government just like they have government in the north. Can you see that we don't have any political and take over power? As you are now, Chineda Souza, assuming that you enter into Anambra State House of Assembly now, and then we give you this bill of customary governance, and you can present it as a private member bill, and move the motion. Tell me why you cannot stand and move the motion. But because you are not into their, you are not activists, said they don't want to be in politics. So you don't want to be in politics, and the devils, criminals are ruling over us. So we want Biafran activists, I mean genuine, honest and faithful politics, and represent us and do the right thing. So that is why. So like you mentioned, we entered into politics and entered into an alliance with a party called UPP. And we wanted to put a Biafran our campaign. We go with Biafran flag and talking about Biafra. We said with citizens. That was doing this thing. I got calls from Abuja, people from Abuja calling me that why I have turned the Nigerian political party into Biafran campaign. They were calling that would I turn Nigeria, the Nigerian political party into Biafra. We are mobilizing. I told them my citizenship, but we are Biafrans by indigenous identity. As long as we are Nigerian citizens, we shall play politics in Nigeria for the benefit of Biafra. Just planned, they are British citizens, but they are playing politics in Britain for the interest of Scotland. They have essence. National party politics for the benefit of Scotland. Why can't we Biafrans play politics for the benefit of Biafra? Okay. Because we are still Nigerian citizens. We listen. So we must France in power.
Okay. Hang on, caller. Okay, Barrister, I think you have to pause there. Let us take another caller and get his question or maybe his submission with respect to what we're talking about. Barrister, are you with me?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, the caller calling from Texas, your name? Jerry.
Yep.
Go ahead with your submission, please.
All right. A quick thought for Barrister. Nnamdi Kanu has dominated the market of Advert and people. He has actually captured people's attention. And good enough, Nnamdi Kanu has legal representatives. They're actually working. Barrister have a better strategy. Why don't he approach Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer so that these people will actually march together and be able to fund his plan, build up his strategy, and go with that idea? It will work better. Because with the strategy Nnamdi Kanu is going for, what Barrister is explaining, he's just dead on arrival. Just, what do I call it? Protesting and agitating about Biafra and referendum. But referendum can happen without the help of, as the Barrister explained, go through the legal process and have it achieved.
All right.
That's my question.
All right.
Get involved with. Okay, go ahead.
All right, Barrister, you heard what he said. So he's talking about the Nnamdi Kanu's popularity with the people and the possibility of matching it with the ideology that is going to make headway. If possible, how possible is that? Would that happen?
Okay. He said that Nnamdi Kanu has legal representatives. Hold on. He said Nnamdi Kanu has legal representatives, that the lawyers representing Nnamdi Kanu. And he said that they have filed something. He said he has filed documents. Now, why can't we move, join together and move together? Well, what I know is that Nnamdi Kanu is a case. That is, the lawyers are representing him to defend him against the criminal charges. So I am not aware that Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers have filed case against Nigeria for self-determination. If they have, let them bring a copy of the summons. Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers did not file any case against Nigeria for self-determination. We are the only people who filed a case for self-determination. Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers are defense lawyers. They are defending Nnamdi Kanu over the charges of treasonable felony, murder charges, terrorism, all those charges Nigeria against them. That Kanu's lawyers are not Biafran activists. They are professional lawyers doing their professional work and being paid to defend their client. But I am a Biafran activist, filing case against Nigeria, not being paid for my professional services. I'm not there for my professional service to be paid fee.
Okay, now you talked about
activists. They are lawyers doing their work as lawyers. That is the difference. Now, you're asking about the popularity of Nnamdi Kanu. Fine, he has been made popular by the media and propaganda and all those propaganda which we don't accept, but some of you accept it. Okay, that is good. You can popularize yourself by any means. But we decided to use the method we want. So he's popular, but he has not filed any case against Nigeria for self-determination. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, Barrister, you have made that statement time and over, but what we are asking now is, you're talking about people's support. You've heard that the people, or you know that the people throw their support behind him now in the country for whatsoever reason you have mentioned. Now, people are identifying the possibility, they're looking at the light of what you're doing, and they are now envisaging of a possibility that if your approach, your strategy, your plan will now match up with the popularity coming from IPOB led by Nnamdi Kanu, that it will push through. Because without popularity, you can't do nothing with respect to political revolution or through the process to achieve referendum for the Biafran people. And you can also attest to the fact that the Biafran people are not interested in politics, in legal methodology, because they have their hope on what Nnamdi Kanu is doing, which is centered on civil disobedience. Now, from all you've said so far, I believe the people who are listening understood your simple message and seeing the possibility of Biafra freedom through the legal process. But they require some sort of unity, some sort of working together, some sort of understanding to make this thing work. But if we see pro-Biafran groups competing among themselves for superiority and relevance, it will mar the general pursuit of the general Biafran people. So what is your take before we take you on the last phase, then round up on this program?
Now, when talking about the popularity or relevance or the multitude, it is the media that can make any project popular. It is the media. Without the media speaking it, saying it, no, they will not listen. Now that I have explained, it is left for the, okay, you talk about civil disobedience by sitting at home. Go and ask that question. If you sit at home for 100, say, oh, because you are sitting at home, he will close shop. Yes, you can sit at home. The sit at home we are talking about, it is in the east, all right? Because as east that has been sitting at home. Fine. Southeast will sit at home. Southwest is doing their work. South is doing their work. North Central are doing their work. Northeast doing their work. All other parts of Nigeria going there, Southeast will sit down. How long will you sit down and it work? But these people do not use their brain. They think that I say it is bewitching their men. They can't sit at home. Okay, sit at home. And somebody who doesn't want to sit, you push down put him, destroy his things because he's not sitting. Okay, let us sit now. I heard that some schools, private schools closed and said they don't want properties to be destroyed. Okay, let us sit. Let's keep sitting. And as we keep sitting, all Nigerians are working. So how long will you sit? Don't do that. It's archaic. It is just bad. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like foolishness, blind leader leading a blind. That is not, it's not workable. But these people will not understand. They will not understand. They will not, in fact, if
then we proceed to the final question which I want us to deliberate on before we wrap up this frame. Coming from Jay in Ken. Jay in Ken said the speaker is talking about Nigeria, one Nigeria. All the people who voted for in Biafran land since 1999, all of them have not worked for Biafran people. So, good evening to you. Your name and where you're calling from, and be brief.
Yes, my name is Anthony Njoku. I'm calling from London, UK.
All right, go ahead, Njoku, with your submission.
Yes, my question to Barrister Emeka Emekesri is this. Barrister, the question I want to ask you is this.
Network, we hope to get him right back.
I can hear you.
Go
I
ahead.
can hear you.
Go
I
ahead.
can hear
Go
you.
ahead. Go
I
ahead.
can hear. Okay, I want.
What is wrong? It seems network doesn't want you to speak, but you must speak your mind. We're hoping to reconnect back again.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
I can
but
hear you. I can hear you.
You are being
I can
cut
hear
off.
you.
You are being cut off. Go on straight to the point, please.
Okay, I said 85% of the Biafrans have been identified. Whether Mazen Nandekano is telling us the support him. Why can't
So many other calls are interfering. That's why we want you to be very brief. Go ahead.
Yes, I said 85% of them, the Biafrans, have been identified with Mazen Nandekano.
Yeah.
Why can't Barrister Emeka Emekesri and his group, support Mazen Nandekano, whether they like him or not? Why can't they work together?
Okay, so Barrister,
Okay.
you've had that question. You have that question. Thank you so much. He's asking why can't you work together, and the other one is saying that you're talking about 190. All the people who have been voting, they have not been working for the Biafran. Have the Biafran people, now let me rephrase that question. Have the Biafran people voted for a Biafran, real Biafran agitators into power before? Have Biafran people actually participated in political process before? Because they say they've been voting since 1999. Both questions, can answer them.
I explained, let me take the two questions. That I was talking about one Nigeria. No, I'm not talking about one Nigeria. I'm talking about dividing Nigeria by legal method. And that's what I talked about. You had clearly about referendum. It's a legal method through political process. I talked so much about that. The other person asked about 80.
We are losing you.
Is doing civil disobedience by sitting at home, right? I haven't seen any process Nnamdi Kanu filed for independence. So what do you want me to join? About joining the case of that charge, the criminal charges they brought against him, charge about terrorism, those cases for which they arrested him. Are you saying I should go and join the lawyers who are defending him in those charges? There is no process. There is no document independence for freedom. There is no case. So what do you want me to join? Is it to join to at home? The lawyer representing him in court? I don't know. When you say join him to do what? So you need to think that % of people are following him. Follow him to do what? 85% of people have to sit at home. That is sitting at home. The whole of Nigeria is working. Only Southeast sitting at home. How will that give? I say I should join him. Join him to sit at home. Is that what you want? I don't understand.
All right. Okay. All right.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Now, as we're coming closer to the end of today's program, just a very quick one. We all are seeing what is happening in Afghanistan. Do you fear that for Nigeria? Do you see that happening in Nigeria in no distant time with respect to the level of insecurity happening in Nigeria and the copycats by what we call ISWAP and all the rest of them? And can the balkanization of Nigeria put an end? I think it's an inevitable evil that means. Barrister, we are losing you. We are not getting you clearly.
This is very serious. So, are you not hearing me?
Go ahead. We can hear you now. Go on.
Can you? I said that what happened in Afghanistan is very, very likely to happen. The Taliban, Boko Haram, working together. They have one agenda: to Islamize the world and implement Sharia law. Saying it is very urgent now that there be a bill of referendum now in the National Assembly to under what terms and conditions, or whether to separate every person go his way under what terms and conditions, either to disintegrate in peace if we want to disintegrate, or live in peace if we want to live in peace. We can actually disintegrate in peace. It's better to be dangerous. Listen, we are not afraid, though. We are not afraid. We have passed through death to life.
Barrister, the network.
Because whenever death to life, I'm not a fearful. I don't everything holistically. You choose the path of peace, dialogue, peaceful resolution. That is why. Nobody's afraid. I'm not afraid